unless you have something.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could trying to get this thing to go down, but it ain't going down because the brother had sent some articles on that. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's get to the juiciness. There's a video. It says EBT cards malfunction for 8 straight days. Riots next. There's a question mark next to it. You know? Why? Because without those cards, you can't eat. You know? Most Jake, they well, people that are on so-called welfare, they depend on that money to eat. Next one is EBT still down. Could this be the start of mass chaos? You know? And that's one sure way to get people to riot is to cut off their food supply.
This is from HuffPost Politics. Unemployed people are getting kicked off food stamps. That's September the 1st, 2015. You know, the title, the headline says it all. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, there's another one that says EBT card system crashes again. You know? So they're playing, they're manipulating that, man. You mean to tell me that they don't have power over that to have everything continue? They're doing this on purpose. These are little trials and errors that they're trying all over the place. You know, like how I said, when he comes back, it's gonna be like a woman. You know, before she has a child, they have like pains here and there. You know, until the baby fully comes, and the contractions get closer and closer together, and that's what's happening. You're having all these different contractions going around the world to stir things up. You know. Back to the book, it says the NDAA via martial law is one method by which Edom will introduce the chip. That is by force of the sword. Genesis 27:40 and Psalm 17:13. NDAA ensues previous legislation as Obamacare designed to push the chip and is in accordance with prior legislation that will enable the government to proceed with martial law. And all of their legislation all comes into one for one purpose. Because that's the solution. You know, they gotta create the chaos, you know, but they already have the solution in mind. For instance, the Patriot Act and the Project Megiddo report by the FBI targeting the Hebrew Israelites. Let us examine some etymology word history, derivation and development to acquire and obtain a better understanding of martial law and what it exactly entails. Martial law derives from the Latin martialis, warlike or of war, having its origin from Mars, the Roman god of war. It is where the bloody red planet Mars derives its name from, as well as the month of March, the month where Roman military campaign began. And March is a very lucrative time to make war. Martial is closely related to the verb march, meaning to stomp, stride, trample, tread, from Latin marcus, hammer, and Hebrew makwabah, hammer, hence the Maccabees, Makwabium, the Levite warrior family. The marching band was an organized band or group of soldiers, Acts 10:1, that shouted war cries and played trumpets, horns, and drums before going to war. Joshua 6:47 and Judges 7:18-23. It's apparent that Esau will violently and combatively confront and move upon the people with force, namely the Israelites, Isaiah 59:19, Jeremiah 18:22. And we have the scriptures, again, to remind us of these things. When Yahushua was speaking to the people, what did he do? He wept over the city. Why? He said, if you would have known the things that belong to your peace, you would have cried, or something to that extent. You know, but now they are hidden from your eyes. So these things are hidden from a lot of these people's eyes out here. And they're not going to see. You know, Yahushua said, look, when you shall see these troops coming in, you know, and standing in a place where they are not, you know, get the hell out of Dodge. Because these are the days of vengeance. This is the time that the Lord spoke of the abomination that maketh desolate. You know, so these things are coming now. And it's the same scenario, you know, just in a different time period. And it's the same Roman soldiers that's going to be doing the same thing. And you know what? Knowing what we know now, a lot of those Roman soldiers that were killing Jake were Jakes themselves. You know? Because what better people to bring in to police these people than their own? Because you had many Jakes in the military. A lot of them had Latin and Greek names. That's why a lot of them are not recognized. All right? It says, it's apparent that Esau will violently and combatively confront and move upon the people with force, namely the Israelites. The scriptures state that the mark will be required in order to buy or sell, Revelation 13:17. We've discussed how to...
Say something on that since you read that. There's an article. This is Snoops.com. Rumor has it. And it says this. And they're going to say that this is false, this ain't going to happen. And this article was put up January 28, 2016. And it's entitled Mark of the Feast. It says a long circulating rumor claiming that recipients of food stamps or welfare are required to submit to RFID microchipping is still categorically untrue. Well, yeah, untrue as of now, until it comes to pass. It's not happening now, but what's going to happen 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now? And so I'm not going to read no more of this.
It says, back to the book, it says, we've discussed how the chip will be posed as the new monetary standard for the failing economy and weakened dollar and euro, Isaiah 19 and 15. Be that as it may, with the mark already a federal law and statute, refusal to accept the chip may be considered a crime by the U.S. government. During his confirmation hearing, Supreme Court Justice John Roberts was told by Senator Joe Biden that he would rule on RFID microchips before his tenure ended. Unwillingness to accept or rejection of the chip may become...
He said, you will rule on whether someone is to take the chip. Mark my words, before the end of your tenure. Saying in his lifetime. And that was said before Barack Obama became president. That was when Biden was a senator. And I believe that was 2005. And the clip is on YouTube.
Yeah, so the evidence is overwhelming. Unwillingness to accept or rejection of the chip may become grounds to apprehend, arrest, detain, and incarcerate citizens in prisons and concentration camps. Revelation 2 and 10. Essentially, legislation such as NDAA, the Patriot Act, and Project Megiddo nullifies and voids all rights, privileges, liberty, or power in America, setting the stage for martial law. Excuse me. Israelites are now labeled as terrorists, having become the new face of terror, both in news media and in Hollywood. Propaganda such as the film Asher is one avenue in which the elites plan to portray and depict Israelites as so-called terrorists, and that's where you have terms like homegrown terrorism.
Yeah, the article that I just read in part from was it rumorhazit.com or Snoops.com, rumor has it. And they spoke about there's information circulating around that welfare recipients and food stamp recipients will have to receive the microchip. And then it says false, that it's not going to happen. And that's called disinformation. When you look up the word disinformation, disinformation, false information that is given to people in order to make them believe something or to hide the truth. So that's for the ones that kind of watch our videos. Oh, yeah, nah, that might be true. I'm not going to take. And then when they read that article, nah, that ain't going to happen. So put them right back to sleep, man. That's their job, man. Now, there's two individuals. You had a Mexican dude and you had a dude, what was he, from Nigeria? Either Ghana or Nigeria. I think it was Nigeria or whatever. or Liberia, I believe. But one of them West African countries, which means he's a Jake. And this was at the GMS out there in L.A. The brothers out there. You had the Levite dude come up, and he said that he was a Christian, and he knows about the mark of the beast. But he took 4 or 5 of them, man. One of them he put up under his tongue, and the other guy, the Issacharite, he said he was on leave, and that he was going, when he goes back, he's going back to Iran. And they told him, when you come back, you're gonna have to take that chip. And so said, he looked at the sign. He said, I know about that. I know about the book of Revelation. So they know that that's the mark, that's the mark of the beast. But a lot of jakes are going to take it anyway, man.
So you got to serve your country, right?
You got to serve your country is Israel, man. Meaning the Israel to come. You're supposed to serve the Most High before your so-called country.
It says, and to justify and legitimize themselves in the public eye, opinion and rationale to arrest the men of the Lord. It isn't uncommon for the prophets, men of the Lord, to be arrested or killed. Several men of the Lord were imprisoned or killed for this truth of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, including Joseph, Moses, Samson, Jeremiah, Daniel, John the Baptist, Paul, Peter, Yahushai, James, and our elders of GMS. And you have different brothers in the GMS camps over the years that have been arrested for this word. You know? Yep, we got arrested. Different times. Yeah, we got, oh man, did we ever get arrested? It says, Lord told us to be faithful unto death. Ecclesiasticus 4:28, Revelation 2:10. To conclude, Edom will use U.S. armed forces returning from Middle East deployment, foreign military troops, and private mercenaries such as Interpol, International Criminal Police Organization, UN Police, FEMA troops, and Blackwater. They are here for the future social collapse, civil uprisings, sedition, and race wars that are coming soon to America, and to enforce the chip on non-compliant citizens. Martial law or the sword is Edom's forte and specialty. Genesis 27:40. Edom employed martial law on our nation during the slaughter and siege of Jerusalem and Masada during the Roman-Jewish wars circa 70 A.D. Josephus, it says, starving Israelites and blockading food access, Edom will again apply it alongside the RFID chip during the economic and society collapse of America, knowing that his time is running short. Revelation 12:12. And that's the end of chapter 6.
No, we're going to stop on that. So we got one more chapter?
Let me see. I think so.
7 chapters.
Yeah, 7 chapters. Yep. Then you have you have 7 chapters, and then you have a summary and an index glossary / lexicon.
Hey, hold on. Say something.
All right, so you know what? I just get that scripture that was last posted there. This is Revelation 12:12, and these devils ain't playing, man. It says, Revelation 12:12, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And this is something that's going to be imposed on the world, not just in America, but America was a catapult to this whole enterprise or agenda, which is going to fail miserably because Yahweh Shai is going to stop you. You're going to implement it to a certain point, but then after that, Yahweh Shai is going to destroy you, because it says here in Isaiah 59, and I believe it's 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, from the west. You hear that, Nate? And his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, that's them, those troops, FEMA troops, martial law troops. The Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And when you look up the standard, it says, or put him to flight. So the Lord's going to cause something to happen to push Esau back, so he can't step to his men, step to his prophets, you know. So this time is coming, man. And these devils are preparing because they think in their warped mind that they're gonna win. That's why when they make these stupid movies, you know, the first hour of the movie is great, you know, but then after that somehow they pull it out their ass where they win at the end against the so-called aliens, which is supposed to be Yahweh Shai and the angels, you know. And every movie is like that, you know. At the end they always win. That's what they have in their warped mind. That's their magic. That Hollywood, in their movies.
Yeah, this is from Wikipedia, United States Northern Command, right? It says U.S. Northcom was created on April 25th, 2002, when President George W. Bush approved a new unified command plan following the September 11 attack. U.S. Northcom went operational on October 1st, 2002. It says the support that U.S. Northcom provides to civil authorities. This is a military force, U.S. military force, that's set up against civil disobedience. When you get a Venezuelan type situation, because it's going to get rough out here, man. It says provides to civil authorities, meaning your mayors, your governors, is legally limited by the Posse Comitatus Act, which is basically done away with, because you had military walking up the streets when we used to go speak a couple of years after, or during that time of a week or two after the 9/11 attacks. It says, which set some limits on the role of the U.S. military in civil law enforcement. That's going to be thrown out the window, Posse Comitatus. However, in case of national emergency, natural and man-made, it's Air Force Northern National Security Emergency Preparedness Directorate will take charge of the situation or event. So they said they understand that there's a thing called Posse Comitatus Act, but they said in the case of an emergency, that Posse Comitatus, like I said, is out the window. So, you know, like I said, man, we're close to this thing. There's going to be a major change in this country and around the world. And with that, we're going to say shalom.